According to the police chief, as we get ready to turn things over to David Kaplan, according to the police chief, they don't even know what they're saying, that they don't even know who the suspect is at this point. Clearly, they know the house, but they cannot identify which person it was. All right, let's get back to David at the hospital.
Yeah, good to be with you. I'm joined now by Gregg Pemberton, the chairman of the D.C. Police Union. Just tell us right now what you know about these three officers.
Yeah, so we just spoke with all three officers. One officer was struck twice. Luckily, his ballistic armor absorbed both rounds. He's going to be okay. The other two officers were struck in the lower extremities. Some pretty serious injuries, but non-life threatening, thankfully. They'll have some serious recovery time, but I think they'll be back on the street sooner than later. And
I mean, incredible to hear you say that right now. Can you just kind of walk us through the emotional side of this for these officers?
Yeah, it's a horrific situation. These are members of the Criminal Apprehension Unit. They're tasked with apprehending people with active warrants, particularly violent felony warrants. I don't know the circumstances of what they were doing today, but obviously they tried to apprehend someone that didn't want to be apprehended. What I would say is that this environment is created by the City Council and their policies that they've promulgated over the past 4 years regarding the Comprehensive Policing and Justice Reform Act. It completely hamstrings officers. We're short 500 cops right now. We can't get the proper number of cops to these scenes, which endangers them and it endangers the community. Obviously, you guys know about the crime stats that we've seen over the past few years. This is a really horrible environment, and somebody needs to do something.
Can you say just anything, not necessarily about this situation specifically, just because everything we're getting is preliminary, but when you say that the number of officers going to these scenes, I mean, are there fewer officers that go to serve warrants like these than there were in the past when there were better staffing levels at the D.C. Police Department?
Yeah, of course. Every single unit that we have in this agency is short right now. When we've lost 500 officers, that's almost 15% of the department. I mean, these numbers are catastrophic. This agency right now in the staffing levels, they're in free fall. And until we can get those numbers back to where they're supposed to be, these dangers are going to persist everywhere, and including the fact that the City Council has basically created an environment where these criminals can do whatever they want without consequence. So this is a very dangerous environment, and until somebody makes some changes, particularly in the legislative arena, I don't think we're going to see these numbers go anywhere.
We just even heard Chief Smith kind of just talk about the number of guns that remain on the street. What do you have to say about that and just the danger that you all see out there, particularly when you serve warrants like these, and just the fact, I know you're saying there's some policy components here, but just the presence of the number of guns that we are seeing on the streets. Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, last year, 2023, our members took over 3,000 guns off the street, illegal firearms off the street, and arrested a large number of those people possessing those weapons. Unfortunately, the prosecutors and the courts are not holding those people accountable to what we would all think is objectively reasonable. I mean, the going rate for someone possessing an illegal gun is 6 months supervised probation. Until we start to actually hold these criminals accountable and start putting them in jail for possessing and using these weapons, again, we're not going to see these numbers change.
Can you talk just a little bit about the true, and I've asked you this, but there's the danger that these officers do face and the uncertainty of these scenes and sort of how they prepare for the worst possible scenario, which is what we've seen today?
Yeah, criminals aren't afraid to attack police officers. We've seen it in this city. We've seen it all over the country. Unfortunately, I think the numbers of attacks on police officers are up exponentially over the past few years. And, the crime stats prove that. I mean, almost 300 homicides, 1,000 carjackings. We had 2,500 robberies. There are people out there that are armed and they're willing to do violence, and they're more than willing to do violence against police officers. It's an incredibly dangerous environment for our members, and we really need to get these staffing levels back up so that we can address it properly.
We're hearing that the mayor's not at this scene. Does that tell you anything more broadly about just this or the lack of action that, from your perspective, has not been happening to address crime in the city?
The mayor has been a big advocate for police officers, even through this defund the police movement and this other anti-police rhetoric that's been out there. I imagine we'll hear from her or her team this afternoon. She's always very concerned about our members. It's really not the executive branch we're worried about. It's the city council and their just obvious despise for police officers here in the city.
And I'll get you out of here on this. Can you give me any ages or relative experience levels of these officers?
These are seasoned police officers. They've been around for a while. They know know what they're doing, and these are all highly decorated people that know how to do their jobs. The police department doesn't put people in units like this unless they really have a good track record and are solid police officers.
Gotcha. Gregg Pemberton, Steve and Marissa, before I let Greg go, I was curious if you guys also had any questions for Greg. He doesn't have IFB, but I can relay it to him.
No, Dave, you answered them. You asked the right questions. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, David, joining us from the hospital this morning with Police Union. I do want to just say this now because obviously we've heard from a number of people. It does start to take on a political overtone when it comes to something like this, and we have heard from the police union president, we heard from the police chief, as far as some statements politically about the battle with council and officers and others as how to keep the city as safe as possible. I do want to say this for people who are saying we're only hearing from certain people. We are talking to the people who are there. We're talking to the people who came to the crime scene. We're talking to the people who came to the hospital. If there are people there, we will talk to them. If any city council member comes to the scene, we will talk to them. If the mayor comes to the scene, we will talk to her. We will ask them the same question. So if any members of council are listening, call us, let us know. We're more than happy to put you on air as well. We're trying to talk to as many people as we can, but in a fluid situation like this, the people who are there, we're going to talk to them. They chose to make those statements based on their beliefs. That's fine. That's their opinion, but we're not just trying to talk to them. We'll talk to anybody who comes to the scene and wants to share their opinion.